So I went out the other day and I caught some whitefish. It's only about a day old, this stuff here, and I'm gonna make some whitefish stew. So first of all, we need some fresh caught whitefish. Went off down to a local lake there and pulled these out of about 30 feet of water, and so it doesn't get much fresher than that. So about 2 pounds of whitefish, some baby clams, about 1.5 pounds of peeled but raw shrimp. They still have the tail on, which makes it kind of nice in the soup, because your audience, or the people eating it, it makes them engage with the soup every now and again in a different way, because you have to pick the shrimp out and just hold them by the tail there and bite them off, so that's kind of fun. For the sauce, I have a tin of diced tomatoes, some tomato paste, and some ragu sauce. You can just use that by itself if you want to, but I like to spice it up a bit myself. So to do that, I use some garlic. I've crushed up about 5 cloves here, because I'm going to use some for the accompaniment to this, which is garlic bread. And I use these part baked bread. Well, these are very thin. My kid likes them because you can kind of stack them up like Jenga. Make some garlic butter. I've got some butter here which I'll use to cook the fish and to make the garlic butter. I've got some fresh parsley here, so some of this is going in the soup and some of this will go in with the garlic butter. Save some of your parsley, flat leaf parsley, whole, just in sprigs like that, because it's good for garnishing. Lemon for garnish as well at the end. For the base of the soup, we have vegetable stock, 2 large carrots and 4 sticks of celery cut up, 1/2 pound of mushrooms, 2 peppers, and then for the seasonings, fresh chili, fresh thyme, fresh chopped basil, fresh chopped oregano, and a couple of bay leaves. So if you are struggling to get hold of those ingredients, it's perfectly fine without all that fresh herbs if you just use the garlic, or garlic powder even, and the ragu sauce. I've also got here I like to use all freshest kind of ingredients, so there's some black pepper there, but we'll grind these up with a mortar and pestle like this. Also important is some rich and full-bodied cream sherry and olive oil to cook with. You know what? I'm missing something. Onions. Well, I nearly forgot the onions. But, so I've got 3 medium onions here, which I'm going to finely chop. When you've done that, we're just about ready to start here. And we'll start off first by sauteing the onions. So on a medium heat, add a knob of butter and about 2 tablespoons of virgin olive oil. Add your onions when the oil's melted down. Pop the lid back on that and let them sweat. While we're waiting for those, we can make the garlic butter for the garlic bread. Get a knob of butter there like that. To make it a bit easier, you can just, or softer I would say, is throw it in here. There we go. And then add a couple of cloves of garlic, some fresh parsley, and some Italian seasoning for flavor. And just mix that up. Okay, once that's mixed up, we've got to put it on the bread rolls here, so I'll cut those up next. Okay, so you just want to spread this generously onto the bread. Wow, I made the perfect amount of garlic butter then. Those are ready to go in later on. And the onions, there we go, sweating down nicely. At this point, I'm going to add the garlic and the chilies. Okay, the onions are just starting to brown, so I'm going to add the celery and the carrot, and I'm going to get the heat up just a little bit now because the moisture in there won't allow the onions or the garlic to burn. And at this point I'm going to add the herbs. So we've got fresh basil, fresh oregano, and fresh thyme. I'll just peel the little leaves off like that, and I'll save the bay leaves until I add the liquid. I'll just give that a little bit of a stir, put the lid back on, and again just let the carrot and celery soften up. It should take about 5 minutes. So that's been about 5 minutes there, and now I'm going to turn up the heat to high because we're going to throw in the sherry. There we go. Throw it in and just let that boil with the lid off. And then we're going to add a tin of baby clams, and I'm going to add the water from that as well because it can give it a nice flavor. There we go. Throw it in, and now I will add on top of that the mushrooms and peppers and give that a stir. Right, and just get the lid back on, let that reduce down a bit, and then we'll start adding the liquid. Whoa, that smells delicious. Right, so we'll start to add the liquid now. So throw in my bay leaves, chopped tomatoes, like that. Half a jar of this, because we need to leave room for the other stuff. Some stock. There we go. And some freshly crushed peppercorns. And we will get the lid back on there. Turn the heat down and just let that simmer for half an hour. Okay, this has been going for about half an hour now. Simmering away. A little bit of a stir. Smells amazing. We'll add the chopped parsley, and I'm going to turn the heat down a bit so it's on a really low heat. I want to keep it hot, but I don't want it boiling because now we're going to add the fish, and I want it to stay hot to cook the fish through, but I want the fish to stay whole and be a nice meaty texture in there. So I'll also get the shrimp in there now. Add a stir. I can already see the fish starting to cook there. There we go, just give that a stir. Oh, this is going to be so good. The lid back on. And while that's happening, I will set the oven to 425 and let that heat up, because we will then put the garlic bread in while that's just finishing off, and then they are ready both at the same time. Okay, the oven is heated up. Get these in. Oh, this is going to be good. Close the door, and as you can see, this is just simmering, and the fish is holding together nicely there. Nice big meaty chunks. Look at that. Oh, that's going to be so good. Probably about another 15-20 minutes while that garlic bread cooks. It's going to be good. Right, the garlic bread should be ready now. That looks delicious, because that should be ready. Oh, yum. Let's see what we got in here. Look at that, shrimp and whitefish. A nice broth there. And then just garnish it. Saved by the bell. Delicious. There you have it. Hello. It's going, man.